We recently finished conducting a study aimed at determining the feasibility of establishing a kelp aquaculture industry in the Peconic Estuary. This study, funded by Suffolk County, looked at both the feasibility of growing kelp in our local waters and aimed to identify potential markets for kelp. In our last episode, we featured an overview of this project and highlighted the kelp tasting dinner hosted by Noah's in Greenport. Now we'll update you on some of the other ways we've been showcasing kelp and hone in on the environmental benefits this industry might bring to Long Island. Earlier this year, we partnered with Greenport Harbor Brewing Company to create a beer brewed with kelp that was released as part of a Kelp Art and Awareness celebration hosted at the brewery's Peconic location. Leading up to the event, the brewers worked to create Sea Farm Porter, brewed with, you guessed it, kelp we grew as part of our study. Sea Farm Porter was provided for everyone's enjoyment at the Kelp Art and Awareness event that featured participation by many local artists, including Scott Bluedorn and Randy Dodonna. These talented artists created work inspired by kelp that also incorporated spent grain sacks from the brewing operation. Anne Vandenberg curated all of these submissions into a truly unique exhibit. The event also featured a product showcase that included everything from kelp dog treats by Harbor Pet, kelp skin products by Naughty Gal, Southampton Soap Company, and Dirty Mermaid, and even kelp-inspired jewelry created by Manna Made. Celebrating the potential of the kelp industry at Greenport Harbor Brewing Company was certainly a fun way of helping the public understand the positive economic and environmental benefits this species could have. Our marine botanist Steve Schott helps explain just how kelp could play a key role in improving our local water quality.
Bioextraction basically means the removal of some component. In this case, we're concerned with nitrogen and carbon from the water column by a living organism, in this case kelp. It's a way of using aquaculture, seaweed aquaculture, and growing these seaweed species that utilize these two chemicals that are problematic in our water. They use nutrients, especially nitrogen, to grow. So as the plants grow, they absorb the nutrients, the nitrogen out of the water column, and incorporate that into their tissue. Kelp specifically is a very fast-growing seaweed, and it actually is able to pull out a lot of nitrogen in a short period of time. And being that it grows in the wintertime, it's actually doing this at a time when pretty much most other plants are dormant for the season. So it's really pulling out a lot of nutrients that normally would just sit around until other plants became active, and incorporating them into the tissue. By the time they're done growing from, say, December through May, these plants could be over 6 feet in length. Some of them can be up to 15 if they're really happy. And that's a lot of nitrogen that gets absorbed out of the water column and form new tissue in the plants. So now that's not actually available in the environment. The potential for seaweed aquaculture is a win-win situation. There's no real downside. It's good for the environment, it's good for the economy, and it's healthy for people. It's, I guess, good to see, having known the potential, and to see that the United States and the American people are starting to embrace what other people in the world have actually known for thousands of years and have taken advantage of. We have a real potential of making this a very viable and economically valuable resource that we can exploit, and it's fully renewable and 100% green.
Kelp holds a lot of promise when it comes to our environment and economy. We look forward to continuing our research and work on this species, and will keep you posted on our findings.